Alright folks, that's a little bit of hill country blues in the style of Jesse Mae Hemphill. That's what we're going to be looking at next Wednesday. So you all should have tabs of this. So let me just break down a little bit of what's in those tabs. And what I just played was exactly that, some of those riffs. So if you take the first two bars of the tab and have a look at those bars and compare them to each other, you'll see that it's one phrase repeated in the first and second bars. It's exactly the same. And then if you move to bars 3 and 4, you'll see again there's another repeated phrase. And then finally at the bottom of the page there's a sequence of bars which are very similar, just involving keeping time and holding a simple one finger. This is what she uses most of the verses when she's singing and performing. She'll kind of play at its most simple. It's just a 4 count on the bass. So that's the most simple part of the whole arrangement, and it's what she would use to sing over. Now, if you look at the start of the music, next to the treble clef and the key signature, you will note that it says the numbers 12-8, which means that although when you listen to this it sounds like a straight 4 count, but the 12-8 signifies that there are 12 beats inside that bar. So, well, 4 times 3 is 12, so we've got 4 groups of triplets. So each beat has that triplet feel superimposed on top of it. So you could illustrate that on your knees and you'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that idea is a good thing to keep in your mind when you're playing this tune, because a lot of the riffs are based around that triplet feel idea, as well as that rhythm accompaniment that I'm playing there over the verses. That offbeat there, that's like the tail end of a triplet. You're just missing out the rest of the triplet. So for instance, if I was to play 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be the full triplet, and then just the tail end of the triplet you get. Alright, so let's backtrack. Let's go back to the start of the music and get the first phrase that she uses. I'll miss out the bass just now, so you just play the notes. So you get, before the bar starts, to play the open string there, and then on the first beat of the bar we're going to play a triplet. So it's, so that's bending the B string, and then on the next beat you play the open string. So, alright, play the open string twice. We hit the 3rd fret here on beat 3 of the bar, and immediately we hit the open string there, the open D. So that's 3, and gonna hit 4 next, and that's gonna be, that's 4, and finally just the open B string. So you get 4. Now I realise at this point that I haven't told you explicitly that we're actually in open D tuning, alright? It's mentioned at the start of your tab, so hopefully you figured that out already. Probably should point that out at the start, so say it's apologies folks. If you haven't already figured out open D tuning and you've never played in it before, you take your guitar in standard tuning and you drop your low E string down a tone to D, and your A string stays the same, your D string stays the same, your G string goes down a semitone to F sharp, and your B string goes down a tone to A, and of course your E string is going to have to go down a tone to D. That gives you an open D chord without doing anything, and that facilitates this kind of driving D bass that she's using here. Good chance. Actually, I have heard her in a live recording playing in the key of E, so her version might be in the key of E. If you want to play along with her, you can simply capo up to the 2nd fret, and that'll put you in the key of E, and you can play along with her recording. But we'll leave it in the key of D just now, because for some guitars, tuning up to E can be a bit too much tension to put on the neck. So we'll use D tuning for safety purposes. Okay, so we've covered the basic simple rhythmic part that she uses. And I should say, remember that this is all listed in the tab. If you can fathom it from the tab and listening to the recording and what I'm doing here, put those things together and then cop those ideas and try to play it as close as you can to how she's doing it. But just use the tab as a guide, you know. Hill country blues is very simple music in the sense of it doesn't have lots of chords in it. In fact, this song doesn't have any chords in it. It's on the 1 chord. So it's more about the hypnotic groove and improvising on the theme. So take these riffs and build your own riffs from them, but do it logically, you know. So if you have a call, you must have a response. And that's what this these riffs are about. So the first riff, as we just covered a moment ago, you get, and then she answers that with this lovely sequence of triplets. Which is really cool. Okay, so let's take the bass out again and look at that. First one, 3, open D string, and on the 3rd again, the response to that one, back the way you came, and then we pull off on the 1st fret on the what would have been the G string, and end up on the open G string, which is now F sharp, and then the D root. Okay. See how I'm keeping the thumb going on every beat. Now if you are unable to do that whilst maintaining the high part and keeping your thumb doing that, a way to train yourself to do that is to start off with a very simple riff. Let's just take this one here, right? And you're just going to pinch on the beat with your thumb, with your 2 fingers here on the high strings. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you're going to play on the and with the fingers as well. So you go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but not the thumb. And then while you're doing that, you might as well flatten your palm against the tail end and mute the bass strings somewhat, so you get this sound instead of this. We want a dull thud. That's your late triplet feel. Reading this kind of thing in a tab can be hard to figure out sometimes. So if you just listen to the recording, listen to what Jesse Mae's doing and cop that feel. As long as it sounds right, it doesn't matter what you think about it or what it says on a page, it sounds right. Okay, so I wish you the best of luck with that. That's really all she does in the tune as far as the guitar goes. We're going to look at it next week, and it's kind of like a great blank canvas for us to build on, to improvise around, and to have some fun with playing in the groove. So I look forward to seeing you then. Best of luck. Ciao for now.